In 1966, a small group of people came together to start a church here in Putnam County, Indiana. And since that time, Greencastle Christian Church has existed to help people find Jesus. Now, throughout the decades, the mission statement has changed, and currently it says, helping people know, love, and follow Jesus. That's why we exist. But the mission has always been the same, to help people find the freedom and find the life that Jesus wants for them. This past January, we became debt-free for the first time in decades. And because of that, it has led your leadership to kind of think through what's next. We don't just want to sit back and enjoy being debt-free, but we want to keep pushing forward to help more people find freedom in Jesus. And that's led us to what we are calling the overall initiative. Colossians 1:15, Paul writes that Jesus is the visible image of the invisible God, that he existed before anything was created, and that he is supreme over all creation. And this overall initiative is really, it's a capital campaign over 2 years to raise $1.1 million, but to do some few targeted things with it. The first thing is, we want you to be engaged. We exist to help people find Jesus. And so we continue to encourage you to get involved in small groups, to serve in ministry, to give, all because we know that the church is the hope of the world. It has the good news of Jesus. And the thing is, this culture tells you that, oh, Jesus is just one of many things. But Paul reminds us that Jesus is over all, and that when you prioritize him in your life, he will make things better. And so we want you to be 100% engaged here at GCC. We want you to be 100% engaged with the overall initiative. And so that's the number one goal, is 100% engagement.
The overall initiative is so exciting because this is more than financial. This is about discipleship. This is, do we make Jesus over all of our lives, with our time, with our talents, with our finances?
I'm super excited for the overall initiative, especially for the remodel happening in the lobby. We're planning on adding some more seating in there so that people can have intentional conversations and to allow for more space for community. I'm also really excited for the worship center upgrades that'll be happening. It'll just give it a fresh look and also help remove any distractions that might keep people from engaging with God in worship.
I am really excited about this initiative and what it means for our building and for ministry here at GCC. I'm excited for an updated, refreshed look here in our kids area as people come in for check-in, for new pops and exciting design in the elementary space, and for a more secure place for our early childhood.
I'm also excited that so many groups of people within our church are coming together for this campaign. There's so many people working on so many different moving parts that it's exciting when God does something big like this, and we're looking forward to the outcome.
The second goal of the overall initiative is to expand local ministry. Since 1978, we have been on this property, and we've gone through a number of building expansions. And there's parts of our building that are still in good shape. There's parts of our building that are in need of a lot of work. And so we've gone through a design process where we are going to update a lot of our spaces. For instance, take our multi-purpose room. Right now we have carpet on the floor and it's stained in all sorts of different places. And we want to remove the carpet. We want to remove the stage to create more storage. We want to go back with a harder flooring with basketball lines and pickleball lines so that our various adults and teens can use that space on a weekly basis year-round. We want to replace our audio-visual so that banquets and large group events can have the sound system and the visual updates that they need to run the event in the best way possible. We want to update a lot of our kids' spaces, where the minute you walk in door 5, it's vibrant colors. It's a clear check-in. The elementary space has cool features and still keeping with the big God story along the wall, where kids can see their space in God's story. We want to redo colors all the way into the early childhood area. And we want to create a one-place drop-off in our early childhood where parents can just go and drop off their kid, and it's safe and secure, and it's in one area. And throughout the children's area, we want to update every bathroom we have so that it's kid-friendly and that it has the vibrant colors and it's fresh and clean. We want to update our lobby area. It is the first impression that people get as they walk into our building. Update the signage that may be drooping on our walls right now. Update the colors and the lighting, and create spaces for people to sit and talk on a Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. We want to redo our coffee area and make it more useful and more clean looking. Of course, the bathrooms, we want to do a full update there to make them clean and modern and fresh. One of my favorite features is that we want to create a timeline that's on the wall for people to see the history of GCC, some of the key points that's happened throughout the decades to get us to where we are today. And lastly, we want to update our worship center. One of the things that we continue to deal with in this big space is sound. Sound bouncing off the walls, and so we think that by putting sound panels up, it will definitely help alleviate some of that sound bouncing back and forth. But with that, we want to bring in some fresh colors. We want to update our baptistry and make it look cleaner and more fresh, more modern. And also, we want to do some updates on our stage to create even a more warm and welcoming atmosphere so that people can find Jesus, can know, love, and follow Him.
We are very excited to call GCC our church home. This was the first time in church I think we've ever felt at home, just wholly and completely at home. We feel like we can grow here and serve here and just feel like again, we're at home here.
I've even said to myself, that's a large goal. That's a lot of money. And are we planning and looking at using it in the best way that we can to reach people and to change lives? I've continually got a confirmation in anything I've looked at or studied or read or anything going on with it. I just feel like it's where God is leading us, and it's a big goal, but I've seen God accomplish a lot bigger things.
You put out a big number and you think, oh my gosh, how is this ever going to work? But it always has. And I think knowing that everybody in the congregation is working together and trying to fulfill that goal is what's exciting and the connection there with the church.
God's moving here. You can feel it. There's so much momentum and excitement and the things that are happening and changing and all the things that are in the work, and it's just you can walk in and feel it, and when you talk to people you feel it.
The third goal of the overall initiative is to empower global ministry. Missions has been a part of GCC for decades, and we knew that overall would need to have a missions component. We wanted it to have a missions component, and so we began praying about what that might look like. And a need arose in mid-India. They are looking to build their own headquarters, their own building on their own privately owned property away from government control so that they can do more for the church globally. And so we want to support their efforts by giving them 10% of the overall initiative. Now, that's a pretty big number. But I just thought, what a blessing that would be to help them significantly in their efforts. Because of these three goals, we want you to consider, what is your part? One, we would like for you to give courageously. On November 20th, we are going to have Commitment Weekend. And on that Sunday, we're going to encourage everybody to write the biggest check they've ever written to GCC to see these 3 goals through. We want you to give consistently. That what would it look like to sacrifice over the next 2 years for these 3 goals? And then thirdly, we want you to give creatively. Think through, are there other ways that you can sacrifice, other things that you can give up, other ways that you can give that maybe are out of the norm? Sure, that includes things like stocks and kind of those non-cash gifts like that, but also what would it look like to maybe, for your family, give up Starbucks for a season? Or use a hobby to bring in extra income for the sole purpose of helping us meet these 3 goals. And so think creatively, outside the box, so that we can reach more people and we can help more people know, love, and follow Jesus. That's what this is all about, lifting Jesus over all, putting him first in our lives so that he can be on display and more people will say, you know what, I want what you have. I want Jesus.